Picture this. It's a perfect spring day. You and your crew are soaking up the sun, live music in the background, craft beer in your hand, wandering past rows of breweries, local vendors, and food trucks serving up some serious flavor. That's Wild West Brewfest, and it's happening April 11th and 12th in Pflugerville. It's the ultimate craft beer festival run by the Rotary Club of Pflugerville, and every pour gives back, with net profits going to scholarships and local charities. So, tickets are going fast. Grab yours now at wildwestbrewfestpflugerville.com. Today on CityCast Austin, the James Beard Award finalists were just named, and no one in our city was named Best Chef Texas. So, do Austin restaurants need to step up their game, or does the food scene here speak for itself? It's Thursday, April 10th. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hello, I am here with Ileana de la Vega, owner and head chef of El Naranjo restaurant. Hi, Ileana.
Hi, good morning, Nikki.
So many people I know love your restaurant.
Love them too. I love
back. Yeah. So, okay, recently the James Beard Award finalists were announced. And as a former winner, is this something that you still pay attention to?
I mean, I was never like a prize seeker, if you put me that way, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I follow them and, like from afar and say like, great for them, that kind of thing. But it's not something that I stopped to watch, to be quite honest. I'm from Mexico. We didn't have those things. So I was not used to that, and everybody was celebrating. I never thought that that could happen to me. So I see it from, that far distance away.
I like it.
Yeah, so it's like, good for them, but it was more my thinking, it was back in the day, that it was for very, very, very fancy restaurants. And I have never had one that fancy. So I thought it would be like never for a casual restaurant, Mexican restaurant, and so on.
Yeah.
So I saw it from the distance, and then when I was like, oh, semifinalist, I was like, oh, cool.
I love that because I used to feel the same way. I thought that they were for like fancy pants restaurants that I couldn't afford or that I didn't know anything about. So it was a really, really good surprise that they were really getting into the neighborhoods and going to casual restaurants. Is there anyone now that is there anyone that you're rooting for in particular as you watch from afar?
Well, I still kind of like the idea that they are introducing people that is not doing like tasting menus or fancy dinners and all that. So I think I will go for, the Peruvian in San Antonio, just for that matter, honestly speaking. I love Peruvian food, don't take me wrong. But it's, they're also the idea that, also people recognize good food. It doesn't matter if it's, fine dining, twister things.
Period.
It's more about the creativity of the chef or the nice environment, even it doesn't have to be fancy. So I like that idea.
Well, and that's what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about the food. And if the food is good
food.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay. To me, this process seems to take forever. The James Beard, it feels like it takes up like half a year. Do you know why the process is so drawn out? Because they have semifinalists, the nominations, then it's just like, oh my God, get to it. Do you know why it's so drawn out?
Well, for some people it's so good to be named, for everybody. Once you get into being a semifinalist, everybody will drown to your restaurant.
Oh,
right? So everybody reads that and it's like, if they haven't tried it, let's try it. If they have tried it, it's like, let's go back, whatever like that. So I know. I mean, I heard from a chef that said, I was, semifinalist for 5 years, never got the final nomination, but it was so good every year that I will be happy to be a semifinalist every year.
Okay, so speaking of which, now you'd already been a semifinalist twice, once in 2019 and in 2020. How did those nominations change things for you?
I mean, it was bringing a lot of people up to that, and then it's like, fade away because, you didn't get it. Still, some people get to know you, which is great. And then when I got it in 2020, yes, of course, we were like swamped every day, like super, super full and all that. So people pay attention to these things. So that's a good, I mean, the award you go to Chicago, you get the prize, and I mean, you don't get anything that night. You just get the nomination there, and it's kind of emotional and everything like that. And then a few months later, you get the little paper, that
Yeah.
you frame it and put it on somewhere. And it's cool. It is very cool, actually.
So being the semifinalist is, I'm not going to say it's as big of a deal, but it's a pretty big deal. It puts you, I mean, if you're not already on the map, it shines a light on you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it is very helpful for get to be known.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so this year there were 7 semifinalists from Austin, but only one finalist made the cut. Outstanding professional in beverage service. His name is Arjav Ezekiel from Birdies. And, congrats to him. Were you surprised by anyone? Like, do you think James Beard got anything wrong in the Austin restaurant field?
No, I mean, it's like other years. We have had many, many others. I mean, for many years, we were like mostly Austin. So I guess they're paying more attention to other cities in Texas. That was my take. And I guess if we don't have any nominations this year, maybe we need to step up. It's a call for attention to. Let's do it better.
Yeah, none of the only professional beverage, outstanding professional beverage. So like no restaurants.
That was shocking. Yeah, to be honest. Yeah.
Wow. So, okay. Now you've been here. You won Best Chef in 2022. So I'm really curious, like, take us back to winning. What you talked about it a little bit. Like, what was the night like for you? What was going through your mind?
It was interesting because, again, I was not expecting anything. I have heard from the James Beard that was semifinalist for a couple of years. And then that year is like, okay, well, we were called for the finalists, so let's go to Chicago. My husband had never been. I have been for work, so never seen anything in Chicago. Let's have a nice weekend. That was our take. Let's just have fun and see what is this all about. And I remember a couple of nights before the trip, I was dining with a friend of mine, and he said, well, you have your speech. I thought, hell no. No, definitely I have nothing because I'm not going to get it. No, I mean, no, because I'm not going to get it. I'm just going to have fun in Chicago and that will be it,
Yeah.
And he said, you should have one. It's like, no, I will feel ridiculous to write something. Don't be called and then come back with my paper in my hand, like feeling frustrated because I paid too much attention to this,
Yeah.
And so I never did it. And when I was like walking to the stage, I was thinking about it. And then yeah, he was right, I should have brought something, Anyway, it was very emotional for me because, again, I was not expecting anything. I was just for the ride, to have fun in Chicago. So it was cool.
I love that. I'm the same way. Like if there have been a few times that I've been like up for something to win something. And my friend's like, oh my gosh, what do you, and I'm like, I can't even think about it. I can't think about it because if I think about it and then I don't get it or I don't win, then I'm like upset for no reason. If I come to it with no expectations, that's like truly one of those, like, it's an honor just to be here. Just to be nominated. Yeah, it's just an honor. Now, I'm curious because, you said you're from Mexico. You're from Oaxaca. Is that right?
I was born in Mexico City from a Oaxacan family. So both of the things are real. And I live in Oaxaca for many years.
So, okay. So like you are a woman from Mexico, like you had your restaurant in Mexico and then you moved it here. Like this is a success story in my head. This is a huge success story for a woman of color. So like, I want to talk about what it takes to reach this stage in your career. Like, what was it like going from having your restaurant in Mexico to here? Like being nominated and now being a James Beard Award winner. Like what have you gone through? What does it take to get here?
I guess it has been a roller coaster. I won't say not. We opened our first restaurant in Mexico. I didn't go to school for studying culinary or anything like that. I just like to cook. So we opened, we get crazy, my husband and I, and decided with a little bit of money that we had, it was not much, $50,000 actually. Very little money, a lot of creativity. My husband likes to do carpentry, so he did some of the tables, he did this and that, and we were very successful. We had the restaurant almost 10 years, and there was a social turmoil that we had to close because we went into bankruptcy. There was a economic collapsing in the city, in Oaxaca, that now is booming, and we just didn't have any income. So we had to leave. We were invited to the United States, and all of a sudden we were here in Austin, and I was like, okay, let's try to open a restaurant again. I work for the Culinary Institute of America as a Mexican specialist, and that was great. And my husband, meanwhile, was still trying to get to be in the restaurant business again. We opened a trailer in a food truck on Rainy Street. Meanwhile, we get the permits to open the restaurant finally. And we did the open into 2012. Again, just the desire of cooking something nice to, please the people, let the people know about my culture and my cuisine and the way I saw Mexico through the food. And that's how I started, and it's still the mission. We part ways with our former partner in 2019, just before the pandemic, and we moved to South Lamar. So it has been a rough situation at the beginning, and we'll overcome that. And then we get the James Beard, which was great. And we're still there, hanging, because there are so many restaurants in Austin that is difficult.
Yeah.
Too many. Too many.
So many. And, I think that it's rare. We do, to your point, we do have a lot of restaurants in Austin. And it seems like sometimes what you're just getting are like carbon copies of things that already exist. So to have a restaurant that's authentic and that's like, I want to introduce you to Mexico through my food, it feels like, I'm not saying you're the only restaurant that exists that's like that, but I am saying that makes me want to go. That's a restaurant I want to go to. I want to go to restaurant. That's a restaurant I want to go to. I'm not trying to go somewhere where I can get the same food at any other place. I don't care. I want to go to a place where someone is telling a story through their food. And so I think that, and the thing that I see to me that feels common is that these are the places that the James Beard Awards kind of recognize. How do you think you got on their radar? I'm so curious.
Yeah, well, it was not clear at the beginning to me, but then afterwards, after that one, in 2022, it happened that they were more transparent about how they did it. So anybody, the guy that is walking down in the street, they can nominate whomever restaurants they want. They get into a funnel. They get into a funnel. And then they have this other, they check with everybody in town, I guess, or somewhere like that. And they, narrow that to the semifinalist. And then again, 5 or 6 judges go and check the places that they get more nominations, and they got a list. So they go and check, and they decided who's the winner for that year.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by this because there's something very special about you just being like, I don't know anything about this stuff. I just make good food. I just want to feed people and have them enjoy their food. So it's like, for some people, I feel like a James Beard Award is like the pinnacle of a chef's career. That's what they're shooting for. They're aware of it. They want to get to that. But I'm curious about what this award means to you personally and professionally as someone that wasn't even on your radar.
Right.
I'm like, this is such a different perspective. And so I'm curious about that.
Well, I mean, of course, it means a lot. It was shocking at the beginning because I didn't expect it. And I think it's very rewarding. It feels very, very nice and feels, warm, if you will. The idea that somebody's recognizing your work because you did it, with love, with passion, with integrity, with, all that put together and all your efforts and your little money, whatever you had, you put it into it. So somebody come and say, well, yeah, you're doing good.
Yeah.
Gives you the okay thing. and see that, that is really, it is amazing, honestly speaking.
Hey y'all, Nikki here. I wanted to tell you about something that you need to save the date for. Austin Community Foundation has been a trusted partner in local philanthropy for individuals, families, and businesses looking to do good in Central Texas. And on April 29th, Austin Community Foundation invites you to Austin in Common at ACL Live Moody Theater. Now, this is an event like no other. It's focused on storytelling. emceed by Miles Blockson, the night will feature 4 community leaders who will share their Austin stories, their diverse experiences of living, working, and raising families right here in Austin. It's a chance to celebrate our togetherness because no matter who you are or where you're from, we all have Austin in common. Sponsorships and tickets are available at austinincommon.org. So get yours today. That's austinincommon.org. There's a new show coming to the Zach Theater, and it sounds incredible. Y'all have to go check out Bob and Jean, A Love Story, written by Robert Schenken, a Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright. So when Bob is deployed overseas and Jean tours with the USO, distance tests their devotion like never before. It's a wartime romance that captures the rush, thrill, and doubt of falling and staying in love. And y'all, this is a true story drawn from Schenken's own parents' letters. And it reminds us that even in the hardest times, love endures. So check out Bob and Jean on stage through April 19th. You can get your tickets at zachtheater.org. That's ZACH theater.org. So I want to zoom out a little bit. Now, you've been here for a while. You had restaurants on Rainey Street, and now you're on South Lamar. And South Lamar is changing so quickly. And so, I feel like every time I drive down South Lamar, there's something gone or something new has popped up. So how have you seen our city's restaurant and food scene change? You know what I mean? And evolve. And do you like where it's going?
I think there's too much. I mean, this is a city that is not that big. So, of course, some of us will fail and some of us will make it. I mean, I hope to be on the one that make it, obviously. But
Yeah.
there are too many restaurants. There are too many restaurants, and there is not enough people. Not enough people going out, not enough people spending money. So, of course, if you're young and you want to, it's your dream to open a restaurant, you will try to make that happen. But there's no room. Honestly speaking, it's just too much. It is too much, and the population that goes out will be spread out, obviously. The first week, the first month that you open, you will be packed, and then the things become, and there is a new one opening. So again, all those people that they are just looking for the new place to go and be seen, and take pictures and Instagram. I mean, I'm not against any of that, okay? Don't take me wrong.
Of
But
course.
it's too much. I mean, how can we keep up, and how we can, all restaurants like mine that they have been here for a while can keep up with the new trends and just and Mexican food is I think it's lovely, it's beautiful, but it's not that photogenic. You have a black sauce in a plate. How do you make it pretty? I mean, we try hard, and we do, but it is not the last trendy thing in a restaurant. We're a casual restaurant again, and that is again, the pros and cons with the James Beard, because people come and it's oh my God, they don't know they change. How they put you in the map, and they come and check you out, and it's like, oh, this is very casual. This shouldn't have a James Beard nomination. It's we're talking about food only.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
this
it.
is
Is
about
it good
food.
or not? Yeah.
In a clean place, in a kind of warm place and cute, but not, I mean, we're not fancy. We didn't have $8 million to put it in a restaurant. We're, my husband and I, with our little effort coming to this country, which we're grateful, we opened the restaurant. That's it.
Yeah.
And so when the people tell you, they don't have the most pretty bathrooms, or they're in a kind of a strip mall. And it's okay,
What do you
what can
want?
I
Do you
do?
want food or not? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not wealthy. I mean, I'm a hardworking person that have been working all her life with a lot of passion and love, and like being proud of what I do and what we do. And now my daughter is in charge. She still love what she's doing. Um, but like that is it. Like what you see is what you get. Period. We are not having any backers. We don't have anything. So a comment, and I'm saying this not only for me, but for anyone that is out there. When you make a comment out loud, think twice. And that means Instagram or anywhere, because that will be magnified many times. If you say something nice, oh, somebody will read it and it's like, yeah, sure, great. But if you say something nasty just because it was a bad day for you don't know the effects that can cause in a person in a restaurant, a little restaurant like ours, for example.
Yeah,
And there are
exactly.
many like ours. If you don't like something, I would say, like say it right there at the moment in the restaurant. Don't go back to your house, write an email or write a complaint or rate it badly. I mean, try to fix it there, and we can fix it for you. I mean, not every flavor is for everybody, right?
Yeah.
There will be things that I don't like or you don't like, and there's nothing wrong about it. It's just you don't like it. Or we make mistakes. We all make mistakes.
Exactly.
Fix it. Fix it.
If something doesn't work for you or something, it doesn't taste right or whatever, like, it's okay to say that respectfully, nicely, kindly. I used to work in the service industry, so I might be a little biased, but it's like, it's nothing to be angry over. It's nothing to be
No.
upset over. Like, it's food. You're in a restaurant having food. There's so many people in the world that can't afford food. Like, how privileged you are to be sitting in a restaurant, being able to have this beautiful meal. You don't like your meal? That's okay. Just say something and then be done with it. Get your money back or whatever it is you need to do. I think this is something we learn as children. So, okay, along these lines, where do you see, because I happen to agree with you. I think that we are saturated when it comes to just like restaurants. People will hear about a new restaurant, they'll go and they'll show up the first weekend because it's cool and it's all over Instagram, and then they don't go back. The way that you keep restaurants and bars and these places open is that you keep giving them your business, and they don't keep giving them their business, then we lose the restaurant.
Right.
We lose all these really cool places. And so I agree. Our city is saturated with a really good mix of really good food and then food that's like, all right, it's okay. You know what I mean? So what do you see Austin's restaurant scene looking like in 10 years? Do you think it'll be more diverse, less diverse? I hope to see more women of color owned businesses or women owned businesses. I hope to see things that are a little more authentic. Like, what do you see in the next 10 years at the rate we're going?
Oh my goodness. This is a very hard moment for the industry, I guess.
Yeah.
So I just hope that, we still have a very good food scene in Austin. How it's going to play it out, I don't know, but I hope, the little places like mine, I mean, I'm not including myself, but this kind of restaurants that the people, the owners, the chefs put a lot of effort and care for it will survive.
Yeah.
That would be like my dream of experience in Austin, because it's what makes Austin different in a way. Not a bunch of chains, like they can be there, but also the little ones is what makes a city special. And we need the support. I mean, me and many others need the support of the customers. Otherwise, we won't make it.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody all got to show up. And so I'm curious too. So now that we have the city now has a couple of Michelin rated restaurants and James Beard award-winning chefs in our midst here in town. Do you think that those awards help to elevate all of the restaurants in the city? Or do you think it just makes people think that they can do it, so they try to open a restaurant?
I think both ways, but also makes it complicated because do we want only elevated food or we want a place that you can hang out? Go for a
Right.
drink and get a bite. When we're in Mexico and you don't have anything to do and you're like kind of bored, you call a friend and say, let's meet for tacos. So you go
Mm,
out, get some tacos. In 1 hour, 15 minutes, you are back in your house, right?
yeah.
So you get
Yeah.
something, you exchange, you eat something delicious, you hang out with your friends, and then you go back down.
Yep.
I don't have a taqueria, okay? So it's not exactly the same thing, but come here, had a guacamole, had a margarita, or just an agua fresca, or, like a coffee. I mean, get something. Go out and enjoy a little bit with your friends. And doesn't have to be like super expensive. Doesn't have to be a date. Uh,
Right.
just make it casual, sometimes. And we have the bar. I mean, it's a tiny bar, but still, a lot of people can sit there. And you want something more formal, get to the restaurant, right? But, like it's just go out and enjoy being alive, being today here.
I love this. So I'm going to ask you two questions now that I'm just curious about. So the first question is, if you could bring back any one Austin restaurant from the dead, what would it be? What restaurant would it be?
Chez nous.
Oh, yeah. That's a good, oh, that's a good choice. That's a really good choice. That restaurant was so good
Yeah, it
and
was
so
so good.
cute and
And
so
so
cute
cute.
inside and beautiful inside.
And real French food.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about Chez Nous. I love that
No, I couldn't, I
restaurant.
couldn't, I couldn't forget about it. Sorry, I couldn't.
Oh, that
It's
restaurant
still in
was
my head.
so good.
Yeah.
So, oh God, that was a good pick. So my other question, so my friend, I have a really close friend that likes your brunch. You have Huevos Benedictos.
Yes.
That she genuinely talks about it all the time. Like
Oh, I love her.
she loves it, and she's been like, you gotta, because I've been for dinner. I've never been for your brunch. And your El Naranjo Martini is just, that's a whole different story. But it's so
That's
good.
a good
It's so good.
one.
But she's a really big fan of your brunch, and she talks about your brunch a lot. And so I'm curious, like, if I'm a person that's brand new to the city and I'm coming to your restaurant, what is the thing that you would tell me, you have to get this on our menu? Get this and it'll change, like, get this thing on our menu and you'll come back every week.
Oh my goodness, that is a tough one. One of the things I bet we have very different is the mole negro. It took me, I mean, it's a Oaxacan
Oh.
mole, and it takes 3 days to make, for real. And people love it. People love it. I mean, it's a very complex sauce. It's not easy. But I mean, have people cried over it. Cry for joy, okay? Not for
What
not
does
for
it
pain.
taste like? Oh my God, what does it taste like?
There are many layers. Like every bite that you take from the mole, it will give you a different taste because it's very complex. It has over 34 ingredients.
Oh my
Everyone
God.
is very carefully, crafted to get it into the final dish. It's very complex. I mean, I have people that every time they order that and it's like, no, 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 please try something else. I can't. It's like, please do, you know? So that is for dinner, I will say. We have very good cocktails, by the way, yes.
Yes, I mean, you do. I can attest to that. They're very good. They're very
And
good.
everything is fresh, and we do everything from scratch. The other thing that is very nice is the huitlacoche. We have huitlacoche here and there in different things, and that is also awesome. The costillas, I think that is the next one. And the costillas, the short rib. People love it, that too. Now, for brunch, if you come, I mean, besides coming with your friend and having the Benedictos, which I think they're great, you have to try the pan dulce, the conchas.
Oh, yes.
And of course,
Okay, I love
always.
pan dulce.
Okay, well, you haven't lived until you taste my daughter's conchas, really. And our tortillas, we were the first restaurant in Austin doing the nixtamalization process. Nobody was paying attention to that, but when I moved to the States and found that I tried the tortillas here, and don't take me wrong, but they are not good.
Now, what process?
So we had to do it. Nixtamalization is we cook the corn in an alkaline solution to give it, more, that is digestible, the corn itself. and also adds protein and, like creates niacin, a bunch of chemical reaction that, makes it nutritious for you. And that process takes about 1 day.
Wow.
Every time. And then you grind it, you wash it, you grind it, and then you get masa. And with that masa, you make tortillas, empanadas, tostadas, whatever you want. We do that since day one when we were in Rainy. And we tried to talk about it back in the day, and nobody was paying attention to it. And then all of a sudden, somebody somewhere decided to call it, oh, we have a masa program. And it's like, oh my God, why I didn't come up with that brilliant name for this, because the nixtamalization is even hard to tell, what it is.
Yeah.
And whereas a masa program, so they're making the tortillas in-house. It's the only restaurant in it's like, no. I have been doing that forever here.
Over here,
yeah. Over here, yeah, pay attention. Anyway, I mean, I'm glad that a lot of people doing it, but we really have amazing tortillas. The moles, we have normally more than one. And then try the conchas on Sunday for sure, please.
Oh my God, I am so hungry.
Yes.
I am so hungry. This has been wonderful. So my last question is, I feel like it's rare that we get to, as consumers, it's rare that we get to hear straight from the mouth of a chef and owner of a restaurant. And so, like, do you have any advice for Austinites on, like when we're thinking about where to spend our money or thinking about like how we can contribute to our city, what is your biggest advice to an Austinite? It's a Saturday night. We want to go out. We're thinking about where to go. Like, how do we keep our restaurants and this culture alive?
I mean, it's always good to try new things. I'm not saying not, but give the chance also to the oldies.
Yes.
Support the people that have been here and root for them. It is a time of need for that. The last year, honestly, was the toughest year we've ever experienced, even with the closing in Oaxaca. Well, that was the worst. But the last year was very difficult for us. So we need the support. And the other thing I think we do in our restaurant, is we create memories.
Yes.
People will remember things. I hate when you go to a restaurant and they don't, you have a nice meal. Normally you will have a nice meal. But then the next day is like, do you remember what it was the second course? I do not. Do you remember this or that? A week later, you don't remember.
Memorable. Yes.
Yeah. And what I think we do is we create memories. And that is important for the people, people that remember. I had people over on Saturday talking to me. It's like, I came your first time to Rainy Street when you were in Rainy, and I love this. And every time I come to Austin, I have to come to your restaurant.
Yes.
And those kind of things, it makes you feel that you are doing the right thing. But then when it comes to the numbers, and it's like, oh, maybe not. It's like, oh my goodness, this is difficult.
I love that. There's nothing like leaving a place and being like, oh my God, I'm going to be dreaming about that, that Huevos Benedictos forever, or I'm going to be dreaming about that martini, or I'm going to be I love that, because then it's like when I'm thinking about, oh, what should I have for dinner tonight? I can be like, you know what I got a taste for? I have a taste for this thing at this restaurant. And so, yeah, I love that. Go to places that make it memorable. Oh my gosh, this has been great. Ileana, thank you for being here. Thank you for chatting with me and being so open and honest.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you. It's an honor to be here with you. Thank you so much.
That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. You can find links to El Naranjo's website and social media in our show notes. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Austin newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.